Welcome, everybody, to today's show. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about follow-up and the CRM and what that is and how it can help you in your business. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so today we are going to be talking a little bit about the CRM and what the CRM is. Just so you guys know, a little bit of background for myself is my name is Mike Glover. I run a company called Paramount Leadership Group. I am a business and nonprofit consultant. I am also working with Legacy Global with their sales and with their marketing strategies, but also just talking a little bit about this fund that we're driving right now. It's an actual drive. I apologize for being a little flustered. I'm always a little nervous going live, but if you're watching right now, we're actually streaming to about 4 Facebook locations, 2 YouTube channels. And so I'm a little bit flustered with that, but hopefully that goes away. But let's talk about a little bit about Legacy Global. Right now, we are doing a drive for the Apache Nation locally here in Arizona. They have been heavily impacted by COVID-19. And so we are trying to gather a lot of supplies, not really a money drive or anything like that, but just things like toilet paper, Gatorade, canned foods, meals, meal kits, things like that. So if you guys want more information about that, go ahead and go to my website, www.mikeglover.co/First Nations. It's the First Nations Fund. You'll be redirected to their website, and it will talk about the things that they are looking for, as well as drop-off locations or mailing addresses, if that's something that you guys want to do. So let's talk a little bit about the CRM. So the CRM actually stands for Customer Relationship Management, and it's actually a tool that businesses use. I use it in my business. I also use it personally, which is something that not a lot of people do, but it's come in handy quite a bit. And I'm going to share a couple of stories of why that is. But a CRM helps an organization organize their leads, right? 64% of companies have said in a recent study that they have no structure to nurture their leads. And I think that's kind of funny because we spend so much time and money on marketing and lead generation and all of this stuff. And so when a lead comes in, we touch base with them and then we never follow up with them again, right? And look at this. Here's another stat right here. I'm just looking at my notes. 48% of salespeople, okay, this is their job. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a potential client. 48%. That's incredible. And it's interesting because in sales training, it takes around 5 to 12 touch points with a client to actually convert a sale. And so if you're never following up, if you're never nurturing the leads through, video like this or email marketing or anything like that, your sales are definitely going to suffer. And maybe that's because, 68% of people at work, according to an Inc. article back in 2017, 68% of people are disengaged at work. And how is that now? That's going to be interesting to see how that is now with people working from home. How engaged are people, and how are us as leaders, as management, as bosses and business owners, how are we gauging that engagement with our employees? And there's a great way. It's sales training. I actually sell a sales training platform called Cardone University, and you're able to kind of go in and see how many people are going in and actually doing the sales training. And it's about more than just sales. It's personal finance, it's attitude, it's a whole bunch of different things, not just sales, but there's a lot of information in there. And you're able to go in there and see, how many people are doing it, how much time are they spending on it. What else? You also are able to see how many times they pass and how many times they fail. What kind of certifications are they going for? What's kind of important to them within that training. And so that's a great way to kind of gauge people. So, but also, not only are people disengaged, but they're also just they're just not organized. Okay. People are not organized, and CRMs, there's a million of them out there. The thing that sucks about them is that it takes a lot of work on the front end to set it up, right? I actually use 2 or 3 CRMs, but I've used tons of them in the past. I've used them for real estate. I've used them for sales. I've used them personally. And every single one is different, but there is a lot of work, and especially someone who is constantly pushing and trying to maximize their time, it feels like a waste of time sometimes to put in all of that data. You've got to put in the person's first name and then their last name and then their phone number and then their cell phone number and then yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on and on. But it is a necessary tool to use. Okay. And here's some reasons why is that it helps you organize and see where people are within the sales process. And so you're able to kind of see how many times people are on your website. Are they engaged? Are they looking at your emails that you're sending to them? How many of them are clicking on the links that you send them? So you're able to kind of gauge that sale a little bit. Personally, it's come in handy just because we recently had our 4th son, Sam, and I've had 3 sons before, and I know how hospitals work, but his birth was special just because he was born right as COVID-19 was happening. So nothing was actually shut down yet. And I apologize for my glasses. My eye is recovering from some contacts I was wearing. And so I apologize. You can probably see all the lights that are going on. But anyways, back to the story. He after he was born, his birth went great. Everyone was healthy. Everyone did wonderful. But soon after, the hospital systems completely crashed. And so we paid for a procedure for him, and I got the confirmation number. I put that down in our CRM that we use for our family. And 6 months later, I get a bill for 3 times the amount of what the procedure actually cost. And so I called up the hospital, said, "Hey, we got a bill. We already paid for this procedure. What can we, why are you guys sending us this bill?" She goes, "Well, we don't have record of payment." I go, "Well, that makes sense because your systems were down, but I did pay it. And here's the confirmation number." Poof, gone. Right. And so they got the confirmation number, the bill went away, and it was a great reason why I use a CRM personally, because I do want to document the interactions I have with other organizations, because I know that they have a CRM, whether they are using it or not. I know my phone calls with them are recorded, so they should expect that phone calls with me are going to be recorded, but also that I keep track and record of those interactions. And so that's why this is why CRMs are good, right? They do take a lot of work, but if you are organized, they can save your butt a couple times. And in an organization and in sales, you're able to kind of see exactly how a person interacts with your organization. How long has it been since you touched base with this person? Or how long has it been since an email has gone out to this person? Have they forgotten about us? Right? And the number one problem for organizations, especially startups, is obscurity. How often are you in front of people? You guys know I follow Grant Cardone. I recently met with him back in August. And the number one thing that he always talks about is businesses have got to become omnipresent, right? The number one reason why businesses fail is because they're not able to sell their product fast enough at volumes high enough at the right price point, because no one knows who they are or what they do or what they offer. And so a CRM, it helps you track all of that, and it helps you get organized. I was recently with a client, and we were talking about what kind of systems that she has, building websites, and I asked, "Hey, what kind of CRM are you using? What CRM are you using?" Because I've used all of them. And she didn't even know what a CRM was. And so after I explained, a CRM, tracks people. It tracks, your interactions with potential clients, and even after they convert to clients and you get the sale, it also tracks how well are they being taken care of, and so forth, tech support, all that. And she didn't know that even existed, because she was concerned about forgetting about people, forgetting about leads, and touching base with them. And so we set that up, and had that going for her. But that's why CRMs are good, is they help you with that. All right, so now let's talk about why CRMs are bad. CRMs are bad because there's a million out there. First off, you don't know which one is the best one. They all claim that they're the best one. They have different tools. A lot of them have similar tools like automation, email marketing, and so forth. But the bad part about them is that you are always putting data into them. There can be a lot of time spent, and you can get data paralysis also. You're looking at so many things at a CRM, it could actually slow you down. But it is a necessary evil. You have to have one, and you have to be organized with your clients. And if you're doing lead generation, you're doing sales funnels and lead generation, all that stuff, you don't want that to be for nothing. You have to have a CRM and a staff committed to using that CRM, right? And actually following up with the client. And so it's not so much of a software issue. It can also be a commitment issue. Okay. Excuse me. So CRMs are only as good as your commitment. All right. Some CRMs will integrate with your phone calls, so that when a client calls, the CRM pops up, shows who the phone number is. That way you're not having to save every potential client into your contact list. But how many of your salespeople actually have that integration on their phone? Okay. And so think about that for a little bit, and how the commitment is with your sales staff, and even your sales staff. Think about your administration staff, your finance staff. Everybody involved with your organization should have their fingers in the CRM somewhere, because it also helps with team collaboration. How is a salesperson going to know if someone paid their bill if finance is not going in there and documenting that a bill has been paid? And there may be some automations with that as well. But if you're a solopreneur, it's also very good, because it helps with understanding all the different aspects, sales cycle, nurture cycle, all these different things that a potential client or a current client can actually be doing with your organization. So number one thing, good thing about CRMs is that they help you organize. The bad thing is that you have to actually organize it, and you have to spend the time to do it. And so the more that you do it, though, the faster you become at it, and it becomes like a second nature kind of thing. Okay, so that's kind of the CRMs there. That's why you need a CRM, is so that you're actually nurturing those leads and moving them along. 5 to 12 touch points is the average on when a potential client becomes an actual client. And if, 48% of salespeople are not following up, how often are you following up with your potential clients? How many times are they being interacted with your organization? So that's just something there. So anyways, if you guys have any kind of comments, feel free to leave them below. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys are watching the replay, or if you're listening on the podcast, I have links to everything below. We'll also be posting this later so that you guys can watch the replay. And you guys have a great day. If you guys want to subscribe to the show, there it is there, mikeglover.co/YouTube. That will take you to my YouTube channel to subscribe. You guys can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Have a good one. Thank you.